I kind of hope not. I don't know that we need extra motivation to try to accomplish our goals. I don't think if we would have been successful at the end of last year that our motivation level would have been any different. I think it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I think, if anything, we got to play the best team in the country last year, and it showed us where we need to be, and how good that team is that's going to ultimately win the national championship and move on to the World Series. So I'm not too concerned with it from a motivation standpoint, but more from a, hey guys, this is what we need to be like standpoint. I think it was valuable in that respect. Yeah, it's an interesting year. I mean, this is the first year in my career where we've had really all of our regular starters back, and that's not to say that there aren't position battles, because there are, with some young guys, with some returners battling with each other. But I think last year was valuable in a lot of ways. I mean, more than just experience can mean a lot, or it can't mean a lot. It depends on how it's used and how it's perceived. I think our guys have done a good job understanding that they got a year. They got to play, they got to be a part of some of those games and some of those battles, but they don't get anything for it. We don't come with a 1-0 lead in any game this year or anything like that. And so it's those attitudes those guys have that, okay, we played last year, it was a fun year, it was a good year, we accomplished some of our goals, but we fell far short of some of our goals too. And that hunger, that desire to keep pushing is really what's going to allow us to be good or keep us from being good. These guys are, on the field, we know they're going to give us consistent quality at bats. They're going to be plus defenders in all three spots. They can run the bases. They're smart kids. They're tough. I mean, we know what we get on the field, and those things are super valuable. The intangibles, the off-the-field part, is really exceptional from those guys too. They push themselves. They push each other. They set great examples. But it's so important to those guys, and they're different types of leaders, and so it helps to get voices from the same position group in different ways. And so we're going to lean on those three guys heavily this year for sure. We expect a lot of those guys, but I don't know if expectations matter. I mean, to me, it's a day-to-day thing. They've been really working hard. They understand, that last year was a year to build on and, more importantly, to learn from. I think Jake and Mark give us a really good 1-2 punch at the top if they're going to be right and continue to grow. Jake's going to go down, hopefully, as the winningest pitcher in program history when he graduates from here, and hopefully he sets that bar real high. I think with the way that he's worked, and Mark and Preston, I mean, those guys have set a good example for the younger guys and those guys who are trying to chase him down and earn a spot. So we're excited about those guys. I mean, we got a lot to prove. There's no question about that. And guys that have proven that they can be successful in the past, they have a lot to prove too. Well, yeah, I mean, with Nate and Liam back, I mean, that adds with the bullpen, that's where I think experience can really come into play the most. When those guys, it's one thing to have great stuff or a great arm, it's another thing to have poise. And so those two guys bring that ability to be calm and intense at the same time that you look for in a bullpen guy. We've got some other guys, some youngsters who are going to, I think, help out back there, and some older guys who are certainly, getting ready and are going to be ready to make impacts out of the bullpen or starting, maybe some of both. So we're excited about the pitching staff. We think we have some depth. We think that we have, most importantly, some tough kids, some talented arms. So yeah, we think that's going to be a strength of the team. Well, I'm not too worried about the difficulties. I don't think it does anybody any good to go out and see if they can beat up on, weak opponents. We try to play the best teams we can. I think that's the point to playing. I think that's what a true competitor does. For us, it's a big part of our path into the tournament. Last year we were one of the top, couple strength of schedules in the country. I think we have been for the last several years. I think we will be again this year. More than just getting into the tournament, we do it philosophically because we want to play the best teams, and we want to match up and see how good we are and go beat the best teams, and it makes for a better experience. I mean, that's ultimately what it's all about, is matching yourself up against the best and seeing how you do. We're excited about the schedule. I think it provides a better experience for the guys. We're going to match up number 1, 2, 3, 4 against our conference opponents who are all real good, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for the schedule from that standpoint. I don't know that it changes a whole lot from what we do. I mean, our goal is to get better every day, to be hungry and try to win the game that we play that day, and that doesn't change a whole lot. I think it'll be interesting to see how things play out in terms of we've gotten to a point where we were comfortable with the old schedule of just taking it a step at a time, knowing that we can't control anything other than what we can control, and I think that should hopefully still carry through, because it's got to be the same attitude.